I see some people in California that have already been displaced from the fires. That's terrible. That's this morning's sunrise in Los Angeles. That's the Los Angeles skyline.
That's crazy.
That's apocalyptic, bro.
That is.
That's apocalyptic. So this is just utterly terrible what's happening. Malibu, Pasadena. It is terrible. Shout out to Tim. He said, landed at LAX last night. Worst turbulence I've ever experienced.
Yeah, because there was like record winds.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's the winds. So people are rightfully so asking, like, what happened? Now, this has been ongoing for a while. Yeah, Pacific Palisades. This has been going on for a while. Now, it's a combination of the weather, which we do have a fire season in California. Mm-hmm. It's a combination of the wind, which is obviously always the weather. But Donald Trump predicted this. You got to give him his flowers. Yep. 2019, he writes, the governor of California, Governor Newsom, which I am not a fan of, has done a terrible job of forest management. I told him from the first day we met that he must clean his forest floors regardless of what his bosses, the environmentalists, demand of him. Must also do burns and cut fire stoppers. They refuse to do this at scale because of the environmental red tape around it. California is very goofy for building and anything zoning related, but they're really goofy on this sort of stuff. That's why you got this EV mandate, try to get all EVs by 2035.
Yikes.
The environmentalists have really hijacked this. And so what you have to do when there's fire seasons is to do controlled fires, do burns, and help prevent this. And they refuse to do it. Yep. Newsom has refused to do it. Every year as the fires rage and California burns, it is the same thing. And then he comes to the federal government for money. No more, get your act together, Governor. You don't see close to the level of burn in other states, but our teams are working well together and putting these massive mini fires out. So why am I pointing this out? Because what will be pointed out when these fires happen is that, hey, this is a byproduct of the environmental catastrophe. It's the environment, it's global warming, it's all these things. That's why we're having an uptick in fires. That's not the full story. Yes, we always have the fires. But because they refuse to do fire management because of the environmental policies, it makes the fires worse.
Yep.
So you got bad upkeep of the state, you got weather, and then you have a massive homeless problem.
Yep.
As seen here, where when it gets cold, and it does get cold here, if you guys don't know, LA, San Diego, I mean, it's probably 40 degrees at night, 35 degrees.
Yeah.
These homeless people will set fires to keep themselves warm. And I'm excited to bring you guys our very first 3-day conference called the Bless God Summit, happening March 27th, 28th, 29th in Southern California. And at this conference, we'll have your very own Preston Perry.
Me as an evangelist, I've made it up in my mind that I'm not going to leave people with an excuse not to serve Jesus.
Dr. Sean McDowell.
If there's one thing Christians should care about, it's truth.
Our vision with this conference is to equip, empower, and inspire people to do the work of the ministry that God has for them in this time. And at this conference, we'll have your very own Alan Parr and his wife, Jim Parr.
The number one reason, people want to get divorced because they want to find someone else who can make them happy. Now, what they don't realize, they're chasing the wind.
John McCrae from What Do You Mean?
What you may be shocked, or you may not be shocked to know, is that the majority of Christians in America, they don't know how to articulate the message of the gospel to non-believers.
Lila Rose.
Love and marriage go together, that sex and marriage go together, that sex can bring life into the world, and that's an amazing thing, that's not a bad thing.
Trizzle Fitness.
Most people fail at dieting because they're just trying to lose weight too fast. What are you in such a rush for?
But where a lot of people get stuck is figuring out what it looks like to walk in that. And so these 3 pillars of our conference will be covering everything from apologetics to family in the home and the marketplace, and how you can lean into those 3 pillars to discover your calling on this side of eternity. So you have a refusal to deal with all the excess brush. You got homeless people setting fires. There's a ton of homeless people on the streets, and you got the winds. You got a recipe for this sort of catastrophe to happen. And so there's video of this, right? This is a dude setting a fire. You know what I mean? And so I'm not saying it's for sure homeless people that cause these 2 or 3 fires, but it is definitely, and so this is allegedly in the same location, right?
That's right here.
Again, and we don't know if this is accurate or not, but this is allegedly in the same location.
Yep.
Why am I saying this? It's not to blame the governor or to blame anyone, but what will happen is, because the opposite will happen. They will blame people with gas cars and people that are, wanting to have cheaper gas prices, and people who want to run their AC or want to run their heat, they will blame those people and say it's because we have messed up the environment. It's like, no, you could have prevented this. You could have prevented this. And this happens every year. It's never been this bad before.
Yeah.
It's never been this bad before, but this has been prevented. And the worst part about this is LA County, and it's either LA, it might just be LA County, potentially the state, I don't remember exactly, squandered $30 billion since 2019 on trying to fix the homelessness problem.
Yeah.
Just gone.
Bye-bye.
Gone. $30 billion.
They also
gone.
squandered.
They built like a couple hundred apartments.
There was also a proposition, I read this on Twitter. Proposition 1 in 2014 in California passed, and it was $7 billion approved for water storage places to create more moisture in the land, right?
Yep.
And not one single one of those water storage units or storage compartments, whatever, was ever made. But $7 billion went somewhere.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's a complete racket. It's the railroad system now supposed to create a fast train from LA to San Francisco. That never got finished. 100 asking for I think $100 billion.
I remember I was pumped about that when my then girlfriend, now wife, wanted to go to school in Pomona. And I was like, oh, they're about to get this railway. I can be there in 30 minutes.
Nope.
She didn't go to school there. It worked out.
So it is right for people to be frustrated by the leadership and the complete incompetence in this. Now, again, could they have done all the things that were suggested to do years ago and this been prevented? Maybe this could have been maybe this could have been prevented. Maybe it couldn't have been prevented. I don't know. But it doesn't take a genius to say you were warned about this.
Yep.
You were warned about this by Trump in 2019. You've been warned about this, and you've refused to do anything about it. And now people are literally losing their homes.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy is that these scales of fires happen every year, all the time in California. And usually they're more contained to the sticks in the woods. Maybe only a couple of houses burned down, massive fires, but they control them. And my brother worked on the Cal State fire and put out these fires. And the funny thing about not doing controlled burns is, what do they do to actually stop these fires? They do controlled burns.
They do controlled burns.
So they just wait till there's actually a big forest fire going. But you can only do that in the sticks when there's woods and stuff to burn down. You can't do a controlled burn and burn down part of the some neighborhoods just so you don't go further. So it's like when the environmental part of it is not taken care of, the nature part of it is not taken care of, and then it's in the city, it's too late already.
And this is just completely tragic.
This is like they're evacuating.
They're evacuating nursing homes. Yeah, it's awful.
And nursing home stuff. Yeah.
Now, of course, the folks on the right who, full disclosure, I agree with, going to score some points. Why? Because the new chief of police is literally someone's objective is diversity, inclusion, and equity.
Oh no.
So the LA mayor is silent while all this is happening.
Someone said, "Do you believe in global warming?" And I'll say, the climate changes. Okay, I think everyone's dropped the word global warming. They go climate change, and I'll tell you this: it's cold, not fire season, and this was started by a homeless person. So global warming, we'll talk about that in the summer.
I don't have a problem with saying that emissions could have that we could have impacted the climate. Like, I don't have a problem with acknowledging that. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. I think there are some folks on the right that have like completely dug their heels in and saying, no, global warming. No, I'm not that guy. I'll say, we probably, with industrialization, have probably had a negative impact on the environment.
But this wasn't
that. This wasn't that.
This is the winter.
And by the way, and what do you want? You want people to starve?
Yeah.
Because we're using dirty energy? Or do you want to use dirty energy and then hopefully technology catches up? Because that's kind of the binary. And I hate being one of these binary guys, but like, we release so little of the actual emissions that cause global warming as America, 15%, right? Yeah. So if
there's more emissions curated when all of the world leaders meet up to talk about emissions
in their private jets,
than there is from us drinking from plastic straws.
Yes. So miss me with the global warming, yada, 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 because if you want global warming to change, you have Pakistan India, China, North Korea. Well, not probably North Korea because they're so inconsequential to the grand scheme of emissions. But those are the countries you need on board. If you're not getting those countries on board, you're not moving the needle on global warming at all. You're just not. America can go 100% EV by the year 2030. We're not making a dent in global warming. We're probably making stuff worse because of the batteries that it takes to create the EVs. And this is as a person who, I love EVs. I love my solar panels. I love my Tesla power walls. I don't have an electricity bill. We can go off the grid if we need to.
It's beneficial for the individual.
Yes.
But not for the entire system.
Yeah. Someone said better to be binary than not binary. So let's look what the mayor says of this whole thing. Apparently, she's refusing to answer any questions.
That's great.
Go ahead.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor?
She got answers?
Nothing to say today?
First, her name is Karen. Did you know that they put out, so that she cut funding by millions of dollars for the firefighters, and now they're putting out a call to all off-duty firefighters from neighboring cities to come and help.
Wait. They cut the budget for the firefighters.
For LA.
And now they're asking neighbors to come help?
And now they're like, oh, snap, we don't have enough firefighters. So we're putting out a call for all off-duty neighboring city firefighters that have time.
This is crazy.
It's like, you're so dumb.
This is crazy. And she has no answers.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
LA, why did y'all vote for this woman?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be that guy. But, like, for the record, the rest of California is not like this. Like, our new mayor in Vista, my new city council member, they're normal.
Yeah.
Like, they're not on this, like, oh, like, don't call them homeless, call them displaced. Like, no, bro. Like, the rest of us are normal. Like, why do y'all keep voting for these people?
Hello.
Incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster?
This is Sky News, so this is like I know
who this is.
The conservative Australian network, right?
I like these guys.
I love these guys because it's like they come in from the outside and they're like, you're so dumb.
Yeah.
Although they got way worse problems than
Yeah, seriously. Australia, you might want to. So listen, I understand, like, my man, Apologia Center, shout out to Arthur, Nona T. I understand you guys didn't vote. I'm speaking generally to the bizarre spirit in LA that consistently puts these incompetent people in power.
No apology for them.
Wisdom will be proven right by her fruits. Okay, so I will have to admit, at the beginning of this, I thought she was at a press conference setting.
She's not. They cornered her. She's not at a press conference. I get it.
And I thought she was staring at this man. I thought she was like this.
No, she's probably like waiting for a flight or something. I wasn't quite sure what she was doing, but yeah. Where you got to see their fire chief, bro.
She's acting like a little, like, you know what I'm saying? She's acting like a.
Now, again, sometimes, you want to score some political points.
Is this their fire chief?
Yep.
Dear God. LA, dear God. On the left is the LA fire chief allowing her city to be burned down with no water and fire hydrants. On the right is the New Orleans police chief who allowed a terror attack on Bourbon Street without street barriers. DEI is quite literally getting people dunzoed.
This is on the LAFD website.
Creating, supporting, and promoting a culture that values diversity, inclusion, and equity. The funny thing is that she said it in the order that it spells die.
Yeah. So this is their LGTV fire
While
chief.
striving to meet and exceed the expectations of the communities are Chief Crowley's priorities, and she is grateful for the opportunity to serve in Los Angeles. Is this like a L, or is this a T?
L. This is L.
L. Okay.
Yeah. Again, so all I'm saying is,
oh goodness.
yeah, she's out there giving out
Pride
flags.
fives.
Like what?
They're called Pride fives. No.
Its leadership has since changed. Chief Crowley is an openly woman now.
It took me a couple years. I wasn't sure, and this was when I was new on the job. I was very kind of mindful about my personal life.
We knew.
We all knew. So, yeah, super, super infuriating, super frustrating. And again, I'm not saying it's because she's that this is why this has happened. It's just the breakdown, the multi-layer breakdown incompetence from the state, Gavin Newsom being warned about this in 2019, to the on-the-ground lack of competence in dealing with the homelessness situation, to the type of people that are openly telling you, like, and again, like the DEI thing, I understand that at some point in time it was necessary. Like, I understand affirmative action. Like, I get all of that. But right now, people are getting positions because of their identity markers. This ain't it.
This ain't it.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please be sure to comment below and subscribe and all that good stuff. And check out this other video that YouTube seems to be recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.